Alexis was a wonderful teacher during her workshop for BWS, Anything But Cold Press, and we're sure you'll love learning from her tonight. But first, she's going to share her thoughts on several of the top award winners that she selected in this year's Mid-Atlantic Regional Exhibition. Please welcome Alexis Lavine.
Thank you, Jim. That was a really nice introduction. And while I'm saying thank you, I just want to thank all of the people, all of you people on the screen right now, the volunteers and the leaders of the Baltimore Watercolor Society for everything that you do for the organization all year long, year after year, and especially for the exhibition and for my workshop. So y'all are great, and thank you. So aside from that, oh, and let me not forget all the people who are in with us tonight. Thank you for joining us, for being here. So anyhow, I just want to start by telling you how honored and thrilled I am and have been to have been presented with the task of jurying this exhibition and also teaching the workshop. Okay, now with that said, let's get down to business here. So as Jim said, the first thing I'm going to do is talk about the 2023 Mid-Atlantic Regional Exhibition. And I'm going to show you some of the award winners in a minute, but I kind of want to talk in general terms first. So I would like to commend all of the entrants, the people who entered, whether you got in or not. I just want to commend you and praise you for your conviction and your courage to put your art out there and to trust in me, your juror. I know from personal experience that that's pretty darn scary. So good for you. For those of you who made it into the exhibition, I would just like to say, congratulations, yay. And for those who have won an award, a double congratulations to you. And let me just say, if you entered the exhibition and your work was not accepted, please, please, please don't let this discourage you, or not too much. And putting your work out there, your acceptances and your awards will grow. And I can tell you that from my own personal experience. Okay, now when I'm asked to judge a show, I look at every entry multiple times over and over to try to see your art as honestly and objectively as I can. I look at your entry big on my whole computer screen. I also look at it small as a tiny thumbnail. I scroll through all the entries forwards, and then I do it backwards. So I'm not always looking at them in the same order. I look at the entries at different times of day. In the morning when I'm pumped full of caffeine, and later in the day when I might be in a mellower state of mind. And so all this helps me to see every painting, I believe, as fully and deeply and truly as I possibly can. Okay, in making my decisions, I do look for certain qualities, and I hope this is helpful for you to hear this in terms of your own painting and future entries. So the first thing I look for, my immediate impression. On first glance, I see your painting and I register its subject and its message. I'm interested in all subjects, all styles, as well as abstract and non-objective art. On first glance, I think about how your painting makes me feel. Does it elicit an immediate response, an emotion, a question? Do I want to look longer and savor the work? Does your painting show a new subject or a new take on an old subject? I will say that we jurors see a lot of subjects many, many times. And a new take on an old subject can give it new life. I like to be surprised by a new angle, perhaps an unusual perspective, a quirky mashup, a slightly risky exaggeration. And of course, I like to see images that are unique and unusual and original. Okay, more. I also look for some very specific things. I'm a very strong believer in good design, strong draftsmanship, and strategic use of value and color. And I look for evidence of this in every work. I also look for evidence of reasonably proficient painting skills. We all know that watercolor is difficult and it can be temperamental and challenging. So I just want to make sure that I do not see anything that is too egregious in any work, such as muddy or overworked passages. On the other hand, you might find it curious that I do not consider technical skill to be at the top of my list. We all know that getting watercolor to behave and cooperate is a challenge. However, a painting that is technically perfect might lack some of the other qualities, which I think ultimately are more important, truly. And then let me say lastly that there is this factor, I call it the wow factor. At any point, if I find myself saying, wow, when I'm looking at the paintings, it's pretty much going to be in the show. And it's very likely to win an award. I do truly find myself saying, wow, this is amazing, or wow, I wish I had thought of that first. That little wow, that little word, wow, can make a decision very easy for me. So anyhow, speaking of wow paintings, I'm going to show you some of the awards now. There were a total of 22 awards, and there just is not time to talk about all 22. So I decided that I'm going to talk about the top 7 awards. The first 4 that I'm going to talk about, let's get them up on the screen. Okay, so here's the show. So the first 4 awards that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to save the 3 top ones for last. So the first 4, my understanding is that they are all pretty much equal, all 4 of them, in terms of prestige and value. So I'm going to present them to you in the order in which they were listed in the BWS form that I received. Okay, so we're just going to start with this one. And this is called The Eyes Have It by David Eakin. If I mispronounce anyone's name, please forgive me. So The Eyes Have It by David Eakin. And I just thoroughly enjoyed this painting. I thought it was quite fascinating the way the artist wove positive and negative shapes together, transitioning from positive shapes to negative shapes and then back again. Just fascinating. I really think this painting is intriguing and clever and fun, and it kept me looking and looking and looking and enjoying it for quite a long time. It brought to my mind the work of M.C. Escher, the great Dutch draftsman and printmaker, who did a lot of this positive to negative and back again thing. Only this obviously has a lot more intense color than Escher's work, but anyhow, super fun. This one is called Illumination 2 by E. Jane Stoddard. And what I want to say about this one is it is crazy, insanely complex with stunning accuracy in its drawing and perspective. Oh my gosh. another thing that just blew me away with this painting is those deep darks. It is really hard to create beautiful, big darks in watercolor without overworking. And this artist has done it. So I will say, yes, this one is indeed technically flawless, but the artist didn't stop there. So it's more than a technically flawless painting, much more. It's all about the illumination, as the title would suggest. And the illumination is strong and hard and powerful in some places, and it's softer and quieter in other places. So interesting. The end result is a painting which wowed me with its drama and the story it was telling about this place, the time of day, and the light, indoor and outdoor light, which was revealing this architecture. So wonderful. Here's another painting, again, just super fun. This is called Just a Starling, Not a Gangster by Linda Slattery Sherman. And to me, this looks like a quilt with many transparent glazes and opaque washes separating and also uniting the various quilt squares. I really love the shapes painted directly, positively, or negatively, or stamped on abstractly or realistically. And these shapes can be found over and over, above and beneath those layers of paint. I really enjoyed the complexity of these shapes. And yet, in the context of all that complexity, all that busyness, that bird just pops right out as the star of the show. Really nicely done. Then we have this one, Friends in Glass Places by William Jaeger. And what I want to say about this one is, aside from the artist's use of repeated harmonious colors, abstract and realistic shapes, and soft atmospheric forms, what I loved about this painting is its ambiguity. Just enough, but not too much ambiguity. So this painting really makes me want to dive in and savor it. And it makes me question a lot. So are we looking at physical people or shadows or reflections or even ghosts? What are we looking at? It's that ambiguity. The title might kind of give it away, but I have to tell you that I selected this award before I knew the title. Because everything about the jurying and the award judging was done completely anonymously. So I didn't even know the title until later on. Even without the clue that the title might have offered, this painting just reeled me in. It kept me looking. It would not release me. It kept me wanting to dive in deeper into its many layers of paint, physical paint, and layers of storytelling. All right, so on to the three big awards now. So this one is George's Memories by Beverly Perdue. This is the bronze medal. So in this one, I just loved the brilliant and expressive colors in this painting. The person with the green face at the top actually made me think of the work of the great 20th century surrealist and storytelling painter, Marc Chagall, who not infrequently painted people with green faces. For him, the color green on a person was used to express a spiritual quality of the person. That was his personal use, his personal color symbolism. In this painting, I don't know if Beverly Perdue was using green in a similar way, if this is part of her own painterly symbolism. But nevertheless, I just found it very, very intriguing. And interestingly, that green reasserts itself in the green liquid that the man is pouring. All of the colors in this painting are brilliant and frequently quite bodacious. once again, perhaps in a personal, symbolic manner. Regardless, the colors make this painting extremely exciting to look at. As one wanders visually through this painting, there are constant surprises, jolts of color, bits of texture, opacities, and transparencies. I just considered it to be a never-ending visual feast. Congratulations, Beverly. This is a silver medal. It's called Raquette Lake Line by Nancy Stark. And I just want to say about this one that I love the repeated circles that are whole, that are broken, that are they're partial. Some of them are flattened into ovals, bigger and smaller. And all these circles and ovals, curvy bits, contrast with the straight lines on the train. Just so beautifully designed. The surface is complex and fascinating, with warms over cools, cools over warms, scratching, scumbling, and all kinds of fascinating mark making. Just beautiful. This is realism with a strong underpinning of abstraction, and it really is powerful. And I want to say one more thing about this painting. This painting really needs to be seen in person to be truly savored. Its size and the physical and tactile quality of the surface cannot be appreciated by looking at it online. I was blown away when I saw this in person. I had looked at it many times on my computer screen when I was jurying the show and selecting the show, but when I saw it in person, whoa, so different. And by the way, I will say it's an acrylic, it's not a watercolor. And acrylic does permit certain effects that traditional watercolor just can't do. Anyhow, those effects added up to a big winner. So congratulations, Nancy. And the gold medal. This is called Standing Room Only by Sarah Andrews. All right. This painting is highly complex in the jumble of beautifully drawn and painted shapes, otherwise known as chairs, along with the beautiful gradation from warm to cool, which unifies the shapes and carries us through the painting. I totally love the strong light coming in through the window, which is repeated on a few of the inside shapes, as well as the cool and warm shapes in the shadows. Okay, more than that, I just have to say that this painting is filled with feeling, atmosphere, mood, light and shadow. It hints at a story. What is this place? What's with all these haphazardly piled up chairs? Who put them there? I really feel that this is a compelling storytelling painting. It grabbed me and it wouldn't let me look away. And here's the kicker. It's painted on Yupo. Oh my gosh, Yupo. This is a spectacular use of Yupo for a realistic subject, taking great advantage of the quirky and expressive nature of the plastic surface, letting it create those surprising Yupo moments, while also asserting just enough deliberate control over it where it was needed. This painting is a major, huge wow, absolutely. And here's one last thing, which I think is super interesting. This is one of the smallest paintings in the exhibition. Smallest, and yet it won the biggest award of them all. Yeah. So congratulations, Sarah, for an absolutely grand and very big achievement. I'm truly humbled by this one, especially because I'm going to be painting on Yupo for you in a few minutes. I also want to say congratulations to the other 15 award winners. I'm sorry that we don't have enough time to talk about all of them, but congratulations to you. And congratulations to the other, I don't know, 70 or 75 people who are part of this very, very fine exhibition. And you can see, if you didn't make it to the opening of the show the other day, you can see all the award winners and the entire show on the BWS website. You all did a great job putting it up on the website. And then I just want to say thank you, BWS. Thank you again for everything that you've done all the way through this whole process. And thank you, Jim and April in particular, for making tonight just seamless. And I've had a ball. I've had a ball tonight. I hope everybody out there has found my comments interesting and the instruction helpful. And
Yeah, no, we have, Alexis. We appreciate the all you've done for us and the talk and the demo tonight. It's been great having you.